Alright, let's talk about community. I have gotten a ton of questions, comments, emails following the Lone Wolf Prepper video. And I'll do a little doobly-doo up here to that video if you haven't seen it yet. Here's the deal. Let's address some assumptions. Number one, my heart rate's up. I just got done rucking 3 miles with 55 pounds in 29 minutes, including a rifle. And I have push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and leg lifts and crunches to do today as well. So, to those of y'all who are like, you need cardio, get some. I get mine 6 days a week, thank you. Next, let's talk about the assumption that it was easy to build community for us. It wasn't. It was not easy at all for us to build community. And we will have a candid talk about community as well. The community we built doesn't exist. We stepped into it. We are part of a community. We didn't build it. It was here waiting for us. We built a MAG, a mutual assistance group in North Texas. People didn't take it seriously and it imploded under its own weight. But we need to manage our expectations with community. Here's why. What you guys see, and I'm very aware of this, what you guys see is in part what I allow you to see. In large part what I allow you to see. And then a small part of that is what you infer from there. But you don't see the struggle, the strife, the heartache, the raw reality of life around here. We'll do a better job at that. But understand this, we were moved, and I say we were moved because it was the hand of the Father. Caveat, if you're new to this channel and you don't understand that I am a conservative Christian, meaning that I am a whole Bible person, I'm not even sorry. That's what we do here. There's no need for nasty comments. I don't come to your channel or your page and talk trash to you, so cool. If you want to do that here, it won't be tolerated. Got it? Good. Next, we were moved by the hand of the Father to this place. We did not want to live here in this area. We looked everywhere but here. And yet we were moved here. I knew the moment I got out of my truck that this was the place. My wife knew the moment that she got out of her vehicle that this was the place. Unequivocally, this was the place. We were moved here. But in the process of being moved here, we were uprooted 200 miles. My shop burnt down, resulting in a 7-figure loss that was not covered by insurance. My wife had and still has a genetic heart defect that was instrumental in me moving from entrepreneurship to an employee position for a while as general manager of this wood shop. And that more or less bankrupted the company that we were running at the time because of medical bills. The MAG imploded because people didn't want to take it seriously, didn't want to play. I left the position I was at in the wood shop after it burnt to the ground to come here, where I am now blessed to work with clients in a consulting capacity, and I love it. We homestead. That takes time, energy, calories, attention to detail, sweat of your brow, blood of your hands. We live on the land. And we have running water and electricity, unlike a lot of our brethren that don't, by choice or out of necessity, either or. But this community that we have, that everybody just takes for granted was something that we did easily, has cost us, I mean, in real property, in dollars, fiat currency, in personal relationships, in gray hair, in anxiety, in worry, struggle, and strife, a ton to get here. But it's worth it. That's the bright side. It's worth it. It's more than worth it. Number one, we know we are where we are supposed to be. Number two, we have been blessed by being obedient to the call to be here. We have stepped into an excellent tribe of people who love us and whom we love. And we help them and they help us. That's how community works, how it's supposed to work. We go out of our way to serve each other. We are accountable to each other. If I miss too many Shabbats, too many fellowships, too many training sessions, too many work days in a row, I want somebody to call me out on it. Because if I'm not being dependable, I need to know. That requires that we are accountable to each other and honest with each other. And I think a lot of people out there in the internet don't want to be accountable to other people, and they don't want to be honest with other people because they're worried that their brokenness is going to shine through. And that's okay. It should. It should. Because in our weakness, His strength is made manifest, right? Period, the end. His strength. And I just have to note, and all y'all who are worried about my cough, yes, I do have colloidal silver. Thank you, Buzzard Roost. You can go watch his channel. He's an awesome brother, and he hooked me up. But the idea that I'm some like religious shill, listen, man, I played drums in a satanic black metal band for years, okay? I was raised in the church. I left. I was in a state of apostasy for over a decade. Please go back channel and watch some of my other videos where I discuss that. I have truthfully found my Creator. He has found me, and I unequivocally am unapologetic about it. If that doesn't work for you, that's cool. I don't throw it in your face. But if that doesn't work for you, I get it. That is my ethos. Okay, that's what's going on at this channel. And so while I'm thankful for all the new people that are here, if that's a deal breaker for you, please exit the side door, because that's how we roll here. We are servants of the Most High first and foremost. That informs everything else that we do. Cool. The brokenness, okay? Number one, we are to die to ourselves daily because we are made new. Part of that is these recurring themes of brokenness that rear their ugly heads in our lives. When you have a brother or a sister to call you on it, hey man, that thing that you said you weren't going to do anymore, I noticed you're doing it again. You were going to quit smoking? How come you smell like smoke? I thought you were going to quit dip and snuff. What's that ring-shaped protrusion in your back pocket? What's that about? And it's not, listen, this is not like some compulsion that we all have to judge each other. It's not that, right? As iron sharpens iron, so one brother sharpens another. And there's a wonderful dichotomy there, because in order for iron to sharpen iron and understand the agricultural connotations here, one piece of iron must be sharper than the other, right? So they're talking about mentorship here and stewardship, that we lift each other up, we edify, and we encourage. That's part of community. But it takes something of me. I have to take my ego and set it aside and be willing to understand that the person that I'm talking with may know something that I don't know. That I could be wrong. And that I'm willing to be moved by the truth, whatever that truth may be. If you can make a compelling argument to me, I'm willing to be moved from where I am to where I need to be based upon the truth. To better myself, so that when I get better myself, I can operate from a position of strength and I can drag everybody else along with me that needs to come along for the ride, right? So that I can steward the people that I've been blessed with, that I have responsibility over. And this is all outside of the realm of preparedness. I think we've established the fact that in a hierarchy of needs, community is near the top because it allows you to meet things like food, water, shelter, fire, love, encouragement, security, right? These things that we need, these basic needs as human beings, are best met in a group of people. Now, that doesn't have to be thousands of people. We had a Patreon talk about this. I think the number we came up with was somewhere around 24 to 150 people, Dunbar's number. In fact, we did a mastermind about just about that. Community versus lone wolf, and the size of your community. 150 tops, because other than that, you can't keep up with it. Sorry, no editing around here. But please don't misunderstand us It has cost us in worldly things damn near our lives. I mean, depending on how you quantify a life and how you quantify success, it has cost us our life and our success to be here. I have explained before that we currently exist happily with joy in our hearts and smiles on our face on 1/12 the income that I made before I became an employee in North Texas as general manager of the wood shop. 1/12. Roughly 8.5% of what we were making, we're living comfortably and happily on now. So how you define success is a big part of whether or not you find joy in your life. We are surrounded by joy, and we're thankful everywhere we look that we would be blessed to have stewardship and dominion over all of this. It's incredible. Part of that is community, and it's the understanding that if I take around in the forehead that my brothers will make sure my kids get fed, my wife is protected, and vice versa. I had that arrangement with Squid and several other members of the MAG before we left North Texas. Real talk. Hey brother, if I ever get schwacked, please take care of my wife and kids. You know where my guns are, you know where my food is. Please. Yes sir, and I'll do likewise. Okay, so we have that here. But we also we do work days. Somebody needs something done, yeah, you can spend a month doing it by yourself, or we can put 30 people on it and knock it out in 3 hours. 3 hours. Oh, you need a house here? Oh, we'll clear a lot. 3 hours, done, next. It's incredible. Many hands make light work. And so, you guys out there have been all over me about how do I form community. With much struggle, strife, and hardship, understanding that it's worth it. If you can't find a group of like-minded individuals, start one. Co-opt groups, co-opt events. Our MAG here in Oklahoma does that. We find an event that is reasonably tied into a preparedness mindset, and then we go to it and we use the infrastructure of that event as a meeting place to facilitate for our MAG, our mutual assistance group. We have bathrooms, we have warmth, we have light, we have food. And here we are. Oh, this thing is about blacksmithing. Cool, we'll be over here talking about preparedness while we learn useful skills about blacksmithing. So, co-opt an event, co-opt a group. You know, whatever your thing is where you are, if it's the FFA, the Future Farmers of America, cool. Hey, listen, Jim Bob, have you ever thought about what you would do if there was no food at Walmart? Well, T, actually I have. Huh. How did you address that issue? Well, we bought a little bit of food, and I'm not quite sure if what we did was the right thing. I actually know a little bit about that. I'd love to help you with that. And I don't have to come look at your stuff, but I could offer you some pointers. It might be as simple as, hey man, you want to go pheasant hunting? Yes. Do you like pheasant hunting? Doesn't matter. Go. Build context with people. Build context with people and be accountable with people. Some of the closest relationships I have in this life are with the people I am most accountable to. The people that know my deepest, darkest secrets, that know that I am not a great person, that I'm not special. I am just simply a broken vessel trying to hold water to do the work of the Creator to the best of my broken ability, to edify and encourage and lift people up. And I apologize if I get frustrated with you guys, but I think part of it is a context issue that you guys don't quite understand what it has been like for us to go through this. And I will assume the responsibility of that for not painting that picture as well as I could have. It's not been easy, but it has been simple, and we would do well to not confuse easy and simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. There are people around you. Humble yourself to the Most High and say, Father, please send me people. And I know that I've gotten emails from dozens of you saying, I'm doing this. Don't stop. Keep doing that. Then meet the opportunity to be blessed with action. Go and do. Go look. And when that still small voice whispers in your voice, talk to that person. Go talk to them. You don't know what you're going to say? Neither did Moshe when he stepped into Pharaoh's chambers. The Father said, I got you. You just open your mouth and my words will come out. Go do that. Like-minded people Where do they congregate? What do you like to do? Go do it. And when you find somebody else who likes doing the same thing, talk to them. And understand too, like, for years, 6 years plus, in my family, I was the crazy prepper guy. My wife, I was the crazy prepper guy. And I was unapologetic about it. Listen, babe, I love you, and because I love you, this is why I'm doing this. Mom, I love you. You can come here if the world ends, but I promise you I'm not taking a morsel of food out of my daughter's mouth to put it in yours, so I would love it if you would please get prepared as well. What a painfully honest conversation to have with somebody. And you know what? Now my mom's into preparedness and food storage because she loves her son and her grandkids and her daughter-in-law enough to say, you know what? I don't want to put them in a bad position, because we had an honest conversation and introduced accountability into the equation. If things go sideways, then I will help you, but I can't if you won't help yourself now. I just had this conversation with my uncles-in-law, who are awesome people, whom we love and we cherish, but I don't have food for them. You can come here, you have great skills, talents, and abilities, but I can't feed you. And you have more disposable income than I do. Please buy a year's worth of food. I would love it if you would, so that we don't have to have an awkward conversation when you get here. So, finding people. Beseech the Father. Talk with people. If you can't find a group to co-op, form your own. Opsec is a thing, but it's way less of a thing than a lot of people make it. There are degrees here. You don't have to meet somebody and tell them everything about you and where all your stuff is. You can fall in love with each other, date each other, get a feel for each other, hang out a few times before you say, yeah, you know, I just bought 4 ammo cans of 50 or 62 grain LAP from Midway because they were on sale for 139 bucks. You did? Me too. Cool. We should go shooting sometime. Yeah, I'd love that. Blah, 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 right? It has cost us to be here. We have formed dozens of relationships with people. Oftentimes I feel in my heart that I've not been the best steward of those relationships that I could be, because my time on target sucks. I can only direct so much time and energy to so many things at one time, and there's people whose company I love that I don't get to spend enough time with, and I just have to take heart that I'm doing the best that I can, right? And that when I do spend time with them, it's intentional. If I do have a half an hour for a phone call with them, it's intentional time, and even then that's not always the case, right? But there's dozens of people that we know and that we love and that we have loved outside of our tribe now, here. And you just gotta be dedicated to it. You just have to do it. And so do they. And they do. And we do, to the best of our ability. And so for you, what's the best way that you should go about finding community? Start. My dad says all the time, you can do anything you want. It just takes one word. Start. Just start. And if you have, and it's not going your way, just keep going. But understand, it's not easy. Nothing worth doing is easy. It can be simple, very simple. Put yourself out there. Make yourself vulnerable. Be honest. Be authentic. Be accountable to other people. That's not easy, but it's simple. Understand that somebody else might have something to teach you. I have mentors. Did you all know that? I have mentors. I have a small group of older men. I say older, they're older than me. They're all in their early 50s forward, whom I talk to regularly. I try to talk to each one of them at least once a month, because it gives me perspective and it reminds me I don't know everything. There's a lot of things I don't know. And I always go into those conversations understanding that my goal is to learn something. And I always try to approach conversations with people in real life with the idea that there's just as much reason that they have something to tell me as I have to tell them, that it's an exchange. And that requires that I set my ego aside, right, and operate with my eyes and ears fully switched on, to be listening intently, to be engaged with people. How do you build community? You get engaged with people, and that's a great word, engaged, right? Because that requires commitment. We're committed to each other. And it may start with just you and one other person, but you need to put it up on a mantle, set that high on a hill where people can see it, so they go, I want some of that. You guys are awesome. Can we be friends? Yes, we can. Knowing full well that it's a coin toss whether or not they break your heart. That's life. But should we disengage because it might be messy or difficult or hard? No, we don't disengage. We engage fully. We operate from positions of strength. That's my talk on community. I don't know if it's helped anybody, but that's our reality here. That's what we do here. It's not perfect. It's not easy. It is messy. It takes an inordinate amount of time and honesty and integrity and accountability with people that sometimes you don't want to be accountable to. But you do it anyway because it's the right thing. You speak the truth in love to people. You make yourself vulnerable to other people. You tell them your dirty little secrets because you get them out where you can look at them and you go, I'm not that guy anymore. Let's get rid of this. You lift each other up. You encourage each other. You pray over each other. You look at your people in the eye and tell them, hey man, I love you. You're awesome. I'm thankful you exist. And I pray that the Most High makes His face shine upon you this day. Shalom.